model is pure naked imperial plunder.
Yeah.
So every nation is regarded exclusively as a resource, both in terms of natural resources and human labor. You know, like human labor, the human populations there are nothing other than human resource to extract the natural resources for British banks to fund, British, American, Western, whatever, and for their own corporations to exploit. That's it. You know, you can't really point to very many nations in the world that have applied this system that now enjoy any kind of sustained prosperity. You know, like after 2 years in Africa, they've created misery and poverty.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
same thing for India, same thing for South America, essentially everywhere they went.
It's mind-boggling, right? Because it's like everywhere that this British system is applied, in every nation that trusts this type of thing, including globalization today, which is just a rewiring of the same old formula, you have destruction, death, famine, war, division everywhere. And yet there's something in their ability to wrap sweetness around poison that allows so many subsequent generations to somehow forget the lessons that they should have learned from the past and just go right back to drinking from this sweet poison Kool-Aid again and again and again and again and again with the same sort of effects. Is that not amazing?
That is amazing, but I think that it's not so difficult to explain, because this system extracts a tremendous amount of wealth from all of their imperial conquests. And then they use a lot of that, well, a lot. They use some of that wealth to then feed the narrative, you know, like they acquire the media in the target nations. They start paying the academia, you know, they start funding the academia, you know, you have George Soros universities popping up left and right. They fund the academic journals. So the narrative becomes entrenched to the point where if you question that narrative, it's almost like, what is the matter with you? Are you nuts? Everybody knows that this is the way it is, you know, like that this is the, you know, like the best system we've ever had. The best system we've ever had. Look at the development we've had over the last 200-300 years since this industrial revolution and so forth. Of course, nobody sees that this comes at a huge cost to the nations that are victims to this. I mean, what did they calculate? That the British Empire extracted something like $20 trillion equivalent from India. And do I remember that correctly?
I heard something
It
like
was
that
something right
from
about in
Shashi
that ballpark, I
Tharoor.
guess.
Yeah, I remember Tharoor made that statistic public, and that's shocking.
Yeah, and so you might stop and wonder, like, what would India look like today if it were left alone?
Yeah.
What would that society be like today?
Well, China and
You know,
India in the 18th century, they were by far, they had the leading
they
GDP,
were the global
manufacturing.
economic superpowers,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
So they got decimated. They got absolutely destroyed because uh, this system, and I don't even like to call it British so much, because you know, like it's not like the
mm-hmm.
British people have anything much to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
This system just kind of like set itself there as a parasite, and is deceiving both the British people and everything else around itself.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just that this system of governance, this imperial system, is extracting wealth from everywhere else in the world towards itself and creating misery everywhere.